Welcome back, guys. In this episode, we travel further down the coast to Esperance. Now, this video is more of the realities of living on the road and one of the lesser shown parts of traveling full-time like we do. The truth is that it's not all action-packed, epic locations, and sometimes even relatively mundane tasks can take way longer when you live off-grid like we do and are constantly traveling to new locations. So if you're only following us for stunning beaches and epic locations, feel free to skip right along to the next episode. But in the spirit of showing you what life's really like for us, here you go.
Done.
180 litres of water.
Should last us a week.
You can hear the overflow.
Yeah.
It should last us a good week, depending on how we're using it. Not if we're having showers, but...
No. Guess my shower can wait another week. We'll be going in the ocean first thing tomorrow.
Nice light holder. You look like Iron Man.
I do, don't I? Iron Woman. We'll start a sequel.
Making use of our new Lume Cube lights.
Yeah.
You can change them to any
free.
colour. You could have a little party going there if you wanted to.
Party for one. Alright, let's get out of here. What are we going to do today?
Well, this morning's pretty much chores. So we've got the gas bottle in the back. We've got to fill that up. Do a whole bunch of food shopping. And what's the third one we need to do? Washing, clothes washing. Because we're going to do another week or so sort of free camping on beaches in Esperance, which is the whole reason we came to Esperance. But we need to re-up on all our stocks and supplies. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna check out the town of Esperance, and then we might do the Great Ocean Drive. No, is that the one in?
No, Great Ocean Road is Victoria.
Great Ocean Road is Victoria. Great Ocean Drive.
Yeah,
is
slight
this
difference.
Which is meant to be one of the best drives you can do, right?
Yeah,
one of the most scenic, beautiful drives in Australia. So, and then tomorrow, drive out and find a beach camp. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I'm realising I'm concentrating on driving and meant to be turning
I'm
right.
suddenly going, go left. You're keeping your eyes on the road, which is good.
Yes, not on the camera that you got out while I'm driving. So you got to get your chores out the way first.
Always.
Isn't that right? Your mum and dad would be proud. Chores first, fun later.
Okay.
If you want to swap your gas bottle over or get it refilled, you have to go to Tatey's.
Have to go to where, sorry?
Tatey's, I think it's called.
Tatey's, okay. I'll Google that.
Sorry about that.
That's okay, thanks very much.
Thanks, have a good one.
You too, bye.
Bye.
I love how she was giggling while saying it. I was like, Tatey's? Potatoes? Potato chips?
There's a place called Tatey's Bait and Tackle.
Right.
7 minutes away. I'll give them a call.
Hi, you've called Tatey's Fishing World Esperance. Our trading hours are Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Let's try the Shell, then let's go to Tatey's. This is the reality of being on the road, constantly being in new towns. You're always trying to work out where you can get things done because, yeah, it's always new.
Yeah.
It's always different. Small towns are very different to big towns and are very different to cities. And shops that usually do one thing in cities or big towns don't in small towns, and their opening hours are very different. So yeah, the realities of caravan life and refilling stuff on the fly. Fingers crossed. 9 kilo gas bottle refills.
How'd you go?
8.5.
Why does everyone do 8.5?
Well, apparently, I was just chatting to them about it. Apparently 9 kilos are older ones. In their estimation, they're all 8.5 nowadays. Apparently that's what the guy was saying. But I wonder if we keep having issues with 9 kilos, we just swap them out and get 8.5s at a later date.
All right.
He said if you get it refilled, barbecues galore.
Let's go to Barbecues Galore then.
Go refill. A little bit heavier, full gas bottle.
Is it half a kilo heavier?
Well, it's fully confirmed. She did. She said this is definitely a 9 kilo bottle, 100%, and a lot of the bottles are 9 kilos. but for some reason Bunnings and the other places seem to like to tell you they're 8.5, and she kind of called them idiots. So it's nice to be validated a little bit, because I thought I was starting to doubt what I thought you could tell me. I was checking all this, I'm like, maybe it is 8.5. 9 kilos. So gas bottle done. Go pick up our washing, food shop, and then we can enjoy the sun. How good?
Last chore?
Last chore, we're at Woolies. Yes. Now, so we're efficient, what are we getting?
Barramundi.
Mm-hmm.
Potatoes to go with salmon. I want to get some greens to go with the samphire that you've been pickling. And I think we need some more chocolate.
Okay, and that's it, right?
And a couple of vegetables. That's it. Maybe some bananas. That's it.
Okay, that's it. We'll try and stick to it. In and out, very quick.
Alright.
And then we've got all we need for the week, yeah?
Yeah. We need 5 days till we leave. We just need a few things, that's it. This bag is so full.
Okay, and how do we go with just getting the things on the list?
I think we did about 80% well. We got everything on the list.
And more.
And we got some hummus.
Got some hummus.
And some crackers.
Crackers, tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce and some chickpeas. And then I think we didn't...
Got some
cider
prawns.
vinegar.
Prawns, apple cider vinegar.
Okay, some prawns.
Yeah, so I don't think we stuck to our list at all, but we've got lots of yummy things for the week ahead.
Yeah.
Jumping back in time to Dad's place, we like to take every opportunity to forage and source our own foods when we can. So here's us foraging and pickling wild samphire for beach cook-up later on this week. So I've got my Tupperware and some scissors. I've worked out that at the bottom of Dad's garden, because it's all kind of tidal and on an estuary, well, on the inlet that goes out to the sea, there's tons of wild samphire growing. So I figured I'd come down, seeing as we bought this stuff when we were up the top, you know, as bush tucker, and added it to salads, and you know, it's growing abundantly here in this backyard, that I pick a whole bunch in here, pickle it, and then we can add it to salads while we're on the road. I know Sophie loves it, so yeah, get a whole bunch of it. There's literally fields and fields and fields and fields and fields of the stuff, so it's definitely not going to be missed. And you only chop off the top, so I won't be like pulling it out of the ground or anything, so it'll regrow next year. So yeah, gonna get me some samphire, kind of bush asparagus, I guess. Samphire, also known as sea asparagus, is a succulent that grows on the salty flats in southern Australia. It has a woody base and a crunchy texture with a salty, fresh flavour. Best used in summer, it can be eaten raw, blanched or sautéed. Apparently it pairs well with seafood and is high in vitamin A and calcium. To reduce its saltiness, they suggest to blanch or soak it before cooking, and in our case, we're going to pickle it with some apple cider vinegar to help balance out that salt even further. I think that's enough for us to pickle. Give it a bit of a blanch when we get back, get it pickling, and then we should be able to bust this out when we're up the coast with a bit of fish if we catch anything. It's pretty salty though, so that's why the apple cider vinegar helps, because it helps balance that saltiness with a bit of, I'd say acidity, but I don't know if that's the right term. Balance the saltiness with something else, eh? Let's stick with that. And I've never pickled anything before. Should be pretty straightforward, but let alone samphire. So if I do this wrong, this is my first time being a pickler. So please don't write in the comments how badly I'm doing or how I should have done it differently, because I've looked up a couple of different ways of doing it and they're all slightly different. So I'm going to pick the best, or the bits that I think are best of each of them, and yeah, pickle up some samphire. So once I've got my samphire washed and any of the little, you know, brownie bits picked off, and I'm comfortable that there's nothing weird in there that it's going to go in my little pickle juice, I'm going to make up the pickle juice. I'm going to try not to say pickle juice again because it sounds gross. What I've decided to put in, mix of things I found online and things that I think would just be good in it. So the main bit, apple cider vinegar, that's pretty standard when you're pickling stuff, from what I read anyway. Some hot chili flakes, salt, sugar, seems to be in all the recipes. I'm going to try and keep the sugar as low as possible because I don't really want to make it too sweet. Star anise, bay leaves, some mustard seeds, and then just some whole mixed peppercorns. And that's pretty much the flavour. And then we're going to put it in these jars that I've repurposed from other pickles that we bought. So the right side of jars, that I guess that's one thing we've got going for us. So I'm going to use these jars we've repurposed, reuse, recycle and all that. Fill it up with the Samphire and then pour in our pickle mixture once we've heated that up. And then we leave it in the fridge or a cool dark place for, it says you can leave it up to a couple of months, right? But I'd probably do it for, I don't know, a week or so, because I kind of want to eat this stuff. Sophie's just asked me what Samphire tastes like, and I'm really going to struggle to explain it, but I'll try and find a bit and you can get my honest reaction. Okay, so the first thing you get when you try it is that it's a big punch of salt. Like, it is really salty. I don't know how much salt we're going to need to put in this. Maybe none, but the apple cider vinegar and the sugar should balance it a bit and make it super tasty. And then it's almost like a punch, like a burst of freshness in your mouth, kind of a bit like celery when you bite in that, or like a sugar snap pea or something like that. Very reminiscent of, like, I guess getting salt water in your mouth really at the beach, you know, like ocean spray. Ocean spray is probably better. You can see I'm still eating it, so it's not unpleasant.
No, and I reckon they call it sea asparagus because I think it looks very similar. Not quite as thick, but I kind of get it.
You reckon?
Yeah.
So that's what it tastes like. I'm going to get into washing this for the second time and picking out any weird bits, and then we'll get it on boiling and pickling. Problem with cooking in a caravan is you really don't have that much space, so you're constantly moving one thing to get into another. But on a couple of the recipes it said to sterilize your jars, so I'm just boiling up some water now. I'm going to pour that in, give them a swirl, so hopefully that kills any bacteria or anything in there that can kind of cause the pickling to spoil. So I'm gonna chuck the saucepan on, turn on the gas, fill up the apple cider vinegar, let that get to a simmer, or so it's kind of bubbling a little bit. Then I'm gonna start chucking in my ingredients, let them soak for a little bit, bring down the heat to almost nothing, let it cool for a second. Then I'm gonna start putting my Samphire in my repurposed pickle jars, like so, get them nice and tight, and then pour the liquid over the top, seal them, chuck them away, jobs are good in. And I think you can really kind of stuff it in and get a nice sort of like amount in each jar. Rather than pickles where they're kind of floating in a lot of liquid, I feel like this Samphire, because it grows quite close together and it's quite sort of straight, should be able to really fill a jar and have, you know, minimal liquid. Plus I've only got 4 jars and I've got to fit all this in, so I'm going to pack it quite tight. Pretty good? Getting there? See a bit of space around the bottom, so I'll see if I can fill that up. And I literally went out and picked this in 5 minutes flat. Filled up these jars, didn't cost a thing, grows super abundantly. So yeah, if it tastes good, then I don't understand why we wouldn't go out and collect it more often and do it ourselves. It's like free veg. So I could have not filmed this, but I want to be honest, I've done 3 and then I've run out of mixture. So the slightly smaller jar has no liquid in it and they're full, perfect, got leaves on top. So I figured I'd put a little bit more apple cider vinegar in saucepan with sugar, good amount of chili, and I'm going to make up like a little experimental one. So I'm going to put a little bit of soy sauce in that as well, which is a little bit more salt, but hopefully also give it a little bit of flavor. And I'm going to do a kind of really Asian-y inspired one with like star anise, soy, chili, and really like try and get it so it's like completely different and see which one I actually like more. The traditional pickle, which is what most of the websites said, and then this crazy concoction, which may taste horrible, but that's how you learn. Try new things, make mistakes, and either turns out beautiful mistake or a horrible mistake you never make again. that's pretty much it done. Check back in, say 5 days to see how it's going. And then we can maybe use it in one of our dinners. Finally done with our chores, we take a look at the picturesque coastal town of Esperance before exploring the Great Ocean Drive just out of town to see the rugged coastline and once pink lake. You never know what's around the corner and you miss every opportunity you don't take, and sometimes they might even surprise you.
Testing.
Testing.
Hello.
1, 2, 3.
Is anybody there?
Oh yeah, all numbers going up.
There's a couple of people in there. I see them.
Oh, 1 or 2 subscribers are watching. Anyway, so we're driving the Great Ocean Drive.
Yes.
Not Ocean Road, Great Ocean Drive. And first impressions, I mean, we didn't really record this, but just the amount of blue water, beaches, headland, one after another, and this road tracks all the way along. Literally parallel with it, so every now and then you just get this glimpse of blue and white and green.
It's really hard to drive and keep concentrated on the road. I keep wanting to look out over there.
Yeah, well please pay attention to the road. I'll describe it to you.
Okay.
But we're doing this little loop that actually goes all the way along the coastline, tracks back inland, goes past the Pink Lake and then back into Esperance, and along the way we're going to get out, explore some of the beaches, hopefully fly the drone because the landscape looks insane, and then see the Pink Lake, which apparently isn't pink anymore, unfortunately, but we're still going to go and see it.
Yeah.
So I guess the Pink Lake now will just be our lake.
Yeah, normal lake.
Called Pink Lake.
So we've just seen some steps going down the cliff from the road. We have no idea where they go, but we want to go and have a look.
What do you want? Hey?
It's not food.
You want some food? Can you smell food?
Maybe you can smell our chips.
Hey? Hey?
Woo woo!
Hey, don't give me that. You're very vocal, aren't you?
I've never met a magpie so friendly. Or hungry, I can't look it up. Oh, she likes you!
I don't know if this is the park, but we're going down to see the Pink Lake, which is not pink. And sadly, after reading the sign, the reason it's not pink is twofold. One, human development, roads and runoff and so on, that's affect the salinity of the lake. And then also an issue with salt farming or commercial salt farming, effectively taking salt out of the upstream lakes from here that used to feed into it. So now the salt content isn't as high in here and doesn't get as much water. So what was once a beautiful pink lake, well, it's mainly sand from what I can see at the moment, but is now just a normal salty lake, I guess. Yeah, which is kind of sad when something that was pretty stunning and contrasty and natural is now not, and it's all down to us humans. Not me specifically, I hope I didn't do anything. But humans.
It's all that salt you've been eating,
Yeah.
Increasing demand.
Rock salt? No, I don't know. I don't know. It definitely doesn't come from here.
We're not sure if this is a path, but it looks like one. Where there's a will, there's a way. Hey, Shrimpton, you're going to have to hold the camera whilst I climb
Come
down.
back up and get it.
Always. He complains he doesn't do enough exercise, and when I give him opportunities, look at him.
It's just annoying. Do we really want to go down and see a lake that
Yeah, I think so. I'm curious to know why there's tire marks on the lake, because I would have thought it would be wet. But
because they're not idiots like us, and they drove down there and we were walking down on some goat path. Pop quiz.
Oh yeah?
What caused the lake to be pink in the first place? Even though it's not anymore, but you know what I mean.
Alright. There's green algae in the lake. And when there's the perfect condition of high salt content, a lot of light and a lot of heat, in the lake, a red pigment called beta-carotene, which is also in carrots, forms to protect the green algae from dying, I suppose.
Ultraviolet light, sun, yeah. Protects the chlorophyll.
Yeah, it protects the chlorophyll, and so that beta-carotene makes the lake pink. Not sure why it doesn't make carrots pink, makes them orange. But in lakes...
Carrots have a low percentage of it, and beta-carotene is orangey red. So I guess higher salt quantities, higher percent. The algae has a much higher percentage of beta-carotene than
I
the
wonder if that's why
carrots
some carrots are purple.
You do get purple carrots, but I'll give you some points for that. I think you got it.
It wasn't the most eloquent answer.
No, it was a little long-winded, and at the start I thought you might not get there, but I'll give you full points because you kind of roundabout got there in the end. Right. It's amazing we know so much about a pink lake that isn't actually pink anymore, and there probably isn't any algae left. Anyway.
So cool. I can't believe this is a lake.
Well, I think that the star of the entire show is old Maggie behind you, who seems to be following us around everywhere on our adventures, eating just about anything he can find.
Yeah.
He's literally been at the top, he's at the bottom, he's everywhere.
Everywhere that we are.
Hello, what do you want? What do you want? You want something? No? Okay. Kind of clayey, rocky moonscape, but definitely not a pink lake. I think they might need to change the name back, seeing they changed it once to Pink Lake from, I don't know what they named it before, some old boy's name.
What would you name the lake?
Used to be Pink Lake. Now a little disappointing lake.
I think it's cool. If you didn't think you were coming to a pink lake, this is awesome. And look at those tire marks.
To be honest, I would name it after old Maggie McMagpie.
Maggie's
Lake. Maggie's Lake. Because he's probably been the most exciting, friendly individual I've met since I've been at the lake. What do you think?
I'll say.
Yeah.
Friends for life.
What do you reckon? Should we run the other side?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of soft underneath. It's like a weird mix of sort of like clayey white sand.
Does it taste salty?
I'm not gonna taste it.
Damn.
Tried to feed it to Maggie, even he wouldn't eat it, so you know it's not good. Anyway,
all right.
The Pink Lake, everyone. Welcome, enjoy the majesty. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thick salt. How would you explain it? So that's all like massive salt crystals. Texture, like it's so silky. Anyway, I feel like a big kid playing with mud right now.
I'm very glad we came because I was thinking it's a pink lake that was a pink lake. Don't you dare.
It's good for your skin.
I know, but then you're going to put a bit on my nose.
No, you don't.
Right.
It's hard to, I honestly think people think we're crazy, but it's like this, it's crazily soft, smooth, velvety mud with salt crystals on top, so it's actually pretty cool.
It feels really nice.
Oh no, don't forget your shoes.
this wasn't a path we knew about. We just saw what looked like a path, started to follow it, and put us out there. So if you come to the Pink Lake, you don't just stop at the lookout, head down the path and go check out the slimy, smooth mud at the bottom. Well worth it.
We stretch like
because we are absolutely covered in mud, but at least my hands and legs and ankles are, we're going to try and go for a quick sunset swim at one of the beaches.
Yeah.
Just to get the mud off before we drive home, because at the moment we'll be getting the car pretty muddy.
I think we've got enough time.
Which beach you reckon? Twilight? Seeing it is Twilight? Well, it's not really, but it's sunset.
Yeah. There's got to be a reason why they called it Twilight Beach. It's got to look good at this time of the day, right? Or is that just me?
yeah.
As you can see, the sun's set on the other side and it's really windy. I have no idea whether you'll be able to hear me.
Cold, are you?
Yes.
Righto, after you then.
So
Ready? Alright.
far away.
Ready?
Start.
I sit and wonder about the times that it made sense. But nowadays I don't worry about what's past tense. My younger days I used to hang around with mad friends. Where I'm at in life I'm only focused on me. Note the self, know yourself, focus on your health. They don't wanna help them it, do it by yourself. Don't give them no excuse to put you on the shelf. If it's me, myself and I, then there's no one else. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Yeah, practice what you preaching, but clearly they're not practicing entitlement and pride. Yeah, those two things they factor in. Even now my
As always, guys, thanks for watching, and don't worry, the next episode is all shades of stunning locations and epic shots for anyone who thinks we fell off on this episode.
sunshine removing them dark clouds.
It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.